Hello everybody and welcome, it's VDan here, so glad that you can tune in to another video. Today I just did a quick rerun of normal using Etienne just to see kind of how it would fare, and it turns out it was actually pretty good. So I'm currently like 5th place right now with a score just under 212,000, and honestly this is super easy. So I'm going to show the full run, of course, because I know that people keep requesting for that. So we're going to start with a free dart placed roughly where I have there, and then we're going to place down a village. Now you can see there's some kind of rocks on the ground on the right hand side. I placed the village just above these. The idea is that when we get this to a discount village with bigger radius, that it can encompass the tower to the right hand side, which we can fit some towers on. Okay, so most importantly, that is where we're going to use cripple for. But I will show you and kind of talk about a little bit of optimizations you can do depending how hard you want to try, but you can save quite a decent amount of money on this run from what I've done. So for example, I actually get a stall sniper. I believe it's extremely useful, and what you'll see in this video as well, by the way, I spent 0 monkey money on this run. There was no retries throughout all of it whatsoever. So for a first attempt with Etienne, I thought that was pretty nice. And it also, the stall sniper just makes tier 5 so much easier. I know you don't need it because druids can handle AI, but just not having to worry about AI at all and solely kind of focus the DPS on the boss itself makes life so much easier. You don't have to worry about any annoying DDTs and stuff. But obviously using Etienne was the main reason why I decided to do that, so that it actually has camo detection, because when I did some Adora runs, it was normally DDTs and stuff that would be the issue. With Etienne, none of that's needed. So you can cut the stall sniper, but if you want a casual run that'll secure top 50, I'd say just put it in, okay? You're still going to get a good enough score for top 50. So yeah, what I think I want to do in the future is live stream, because there's going to be quite a bit of kind of sections in this video where I'm not going to be commentating over it because there's not really much to do. But I think, you know, if it was like live streamed or I recorded a live commentary over it whilst playing, that would potentially make it better, because I could just cut it up and there's always going to be kind of, you know, speaking. It's not just going to be watching the game kind of unfold with nothing else going on, which I think is a bit bland sometimes. But for completeness, I think just to see the main parts of the run is always helpful. Especially, you know, if you're a bit new to it or you don't have much monkey money, you can just follow it, get a one-to-one correspondence with my video, and it should work. Of course, make sure you've got all monkey knowledge enabled as well. I need to preface that by saying I have all monkey knowledge enabled for this run. And then the rest is make sure, so I think some people have been struggling with druids, and the only reason I think if you struggle with druids is that if you incorrectly leak lives. So on round 42, we will get to that. Now, obviously as well, because I want to leak lives on round 42, which has camos, we do not want Etienne kind of down before then, or alternatively not down and in a position of which will actually interfere with the camos. Instead, we will use a helicopter. Okay, so once I've built this discount village, I forgot to mention I get 2 druids down just for an extra bit of defense. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to place down another discount village. This as well will be near the tower, so it's going to allow us to get double discount on the cripple mob, say, but also we can discount like a Chinook and stuff as well with it. Now, if you wanted to be really try hard, what you do is you would Chinook and move towers kind of into the tall tower on the right hand side and get them all double discounted. But I think it saves like $30 per druid or something if it goes to double discount instead of single discount. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm not that bothered about it. But you know, if you want to snipe me by $30 or $60 or any multiple of 30, feel free to do that. But again, it's just how much do you want to kind of care. And the leaderboard's honestly really quite free. I thought there'd be a lot more competition, but I think the thing that's ruined this kind of boss event, honestly, is one, well, it's least cash and least, you know, at least cash isn't the best, but it's mainly this map, in my opinion. There's so much kind of light of sight blocking, and it just kind of restricts the strategy so much. Like, we know basically it has to be druid or Savatars, which is a given, but because of the line of sight blocking, it kind of forces it to be druids, and then it's just a case of cutting down as many upgrades, as many druids and stuff as you can, which I've not bothered to do, but some of you guys can figure it out. And also, for any of you who want to go for a really good score, all I'll say is consider using Pat as well, because he may have a very good role. I may do a rerun tomorrow, actually, if the leaderboard's looking pretty free, but I'll see. Okay, so now, once we've got this other discount village down, I'm going to go and place down a helicopter. This is going to be also good to help defend. Also, note that I wanted to get helicopter down before sniper, because obviously with monkey knowledge, we get a bigger discount on the initial value from the helicopter than we do on the sniper. And now, I'm going to place down another discount village. So the idea here is that I know that I've got leads coming. We don't have anything to tackle leads. So before upgrading the helicopter, we'll get this discount village in this left quadrant, and we're going to go and get a alchemist, okay? Now, what you need to do is, the positioning is a bit awkward. We need to try and like tightly pack these rectangles that we're using to place druids. So when we place the alchemist, what we want to do is kind of place it as close and to the left and straight as he can of this discount village. As you can see here, I'm trying to really keep it close and place it basically just directly adjacent to it like that. And we can go and upgrade it to the top path, set him on strong, and he will sort out the leads, which we currently cannot handle. Okay, so I'm just going to show the full early game setup, because in my opinion, this is the most important bit, and then it gets kind of a lot easier. All it'll be a case is, let's get Perma brew, let's get Chinook, let's get, Druids of Wrath, Avatar of Wrath, and Cripple, and then you're pretty much done. Also, we will get an Ice and Jungle Drums the village as well. I think that's pretty much worth it. Maybe with Etienne you can cut Ice, actually, but I think for the price, it's a really good tower. Okay, so now, just in preparation as well, that we're going to get some camos on 33, make sure to upgrade the heli. And now I'm trying to fit some druids in here. So what I want is, I want at least 8 druids in this right-hand side corner. And we're going to put 11 druids in the left portion, okay? So it's going to be 8 in the right-hand side, 11 in the left. So a total of 19 druids I am placing down. Now, also, the positioning of the druids is important. I want to also make sure I can leave space to go and place like an ice down, for example. But if your positioning is not the best, because we're going to get Chinook, you can always do a lot of fiddling around with the Chinook to get them into nice positions, okay? Which is what I will also see in the video. You'll see me doing that, which is a bit tedious. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm just checking here that I've got spots for like an ice tower, say. But if you didn't, don't worry too much. You can just go and Chinook the druids into more kind of pleasant positions later on. Okay, so in the meantime, I've set up 8 druids in this quadrant, and now all we're going to do, I don't know why I called it a quadrant, sorry, rectangle. Now all we're going to do is just wait until round 38, 39, and we'll set up druids in the left-hand side as well. Again, just take your time with it, and obviously make sure to try and minimise penalty time, but there's not really any overlapping scores really at the minute, not too many, so don't worry too much about it. I guess it depends. Do you want to just follow this strategy, or do you want to actually optimize it and get a better score in cash? Because time's not too important in least cash, honestly. You very rarely get the exact crossover, just like you would, say, in least tiers on the other hand. Okay, so now I'll fast forward here, but it's time to go and fit 11 druids. Make sure as well you get bigger range on the discount village so we can encapsulate all of the druids in this left-hand side rectangle. And now you've just got to be, a bit cautious with it and really try and cram them in. I'm leaving a space on that right-hand side because I want to chin up something there later on. And I'm also going to see if I can fit one just at this bottom portion, and I could. So you may have to do a bit of wiggling, but everything should be nice. Also, I know we've not got Etienne yet, but remember, Etienne levels up super, super quickly, so we don't need to worry too much. That's one benefit. We can afford to get him down late because he'll be level 20 very quickly anyway. Now what we need to do is get every single one of these druids to 002, okay? Every single one. So you're going to have to keep buying them until like round 41 or during round 41. Make sure you don't miss a single one as being 002. And just keep an eye, if things get a bit scary, you've got the helicopter as a little backup. But we've got enough druids here, so you should be good in these rounds. So like I said, we want 002 on every single one. And also, at this point, I decided, you know what, I'm going to place down Etienne. I put him in the top right-hand side corner and made sure that the range of any of his kind of abilities, or his drone swarm, Drone Swarm, that doesn't sound right. Yes, Drone Swarm, doesn't hit the tower itself. But obviously, you don't need to use the ability. So just keep Etienne out of range. Everything will be good. Now you can see I've got every single one of them to 002. That's because when we lose 100 lives, if you've not actually seen the cross path, it will increase the attack speed. So you'll get a lot more damage from the druids. So missing this would be a huge kind of mistake. Okay, then we're going to get an ice setup, but don't upgrade him yet because we don't want him to pop the camos. So what we're going to do is I'm going to kind of trail behind the last kind of camo rainbow, and maybe the second to last as well, and just pop them a little bit and just kind of trace it a bit with your helicopter. I don't do a good job here. I've got it before where it's gone down to exactly 99 lives, but we're using the helicopter to kind of guide us into how much lives we can leak. I'm like, okay, I've lost too much, but it's okay. Okay, so that's all you need to do. Just be a bit cautious with the helicopter. Make sure every single one is 002 on your druids, and you can easily leak over 100 lives. Once you've done that, you are good, okay? Now, that's like the kind of most important bit of the strategy, because if you miss that, you're going to lose so much DPS with your druids, which is also why if you did like the double discount on every single druid thing, it'd be really awkward because you'd have to have your druids in an awkward place at first and then have to Chinook them later. So I'm not going to suffer through that, but maybe some of you guys will. Okay, now I'm going to place down a glue. Like I said, cripple will be going here later, but because there's a double discount range, I'm going to maximize that. So glue is very helpful for when the first kind of swarm of bloons come out of the first skull from Bloonarius. But until then, we can just go and, put it on fast forward now. Everything should be pretty good. Just always double check that you've got every single one to 002, because if you've not, you'd want to restart and go back to round 40. Okay, so make sure you now upgrade the ice to embrittlement, and that will help a load. And then I'm going to upgrade the village on the right-hand side to jungle drums. And this makes a huge impact, actually, with how easily you clean up here, okay? So, as you can see, we're cleaning up really quite nicely. I'm just tracing the bloons with the helicopter just to be safe, but you probably wouldn't even need to because you've got enough druids. We've got an embrittlement, jungle drums, everything's good, and we've got a glue beginning to be set up. So remember, we want to get glue to 041. That's the cross path that we're after. So now it's 031, which already helps quite a lot. Remember, the embrittlement as well will also help with camos, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. And I believe that Etienne will also reach level 8 very shortly as well. So then camos are absolutely no problem for the rest of the game, which makes life awesome. Okay, and now it's just a case of saving up for glue strike, and you should be able to kill this boss very nicely from there on out. Once you get glue strike, then just proceed to get the cross paths on the druids and get them all to 013. Yeah, 013, that's the one that you want, okay? So we've got glue strike ready. I'm probably just going to hold it off for when the final skull pops just to be safe. And now all we want to do is get 003 and then cross path it with hard thorns as well, because that's a worthwhile cross path. But you don't need to get the cross path after that, okay? You don't need to get 023s. This is sufficient as it is. So now I'm just keeping an eye on things, and then like, okay, I'm happy with this setup. I was wondering if this is going to be, not the ideal setup with my druids and everything, but I think everything looks pretty good, and there'll be a bit of chinooking to do later on for positions wise, but I'm pretty happy with this as a first attempt. So I'm going to upgrade the alchemist as well. I'm trying to think why I even decided to do that. Why not just get them all to 013? I'm sure it doesn't matter. Basically, all you need to do is just get them all to 013. And then what we're going to do is, after we've got all of them to 013, we can get the other village to jungle drums as well. No point in missing out that. And then we can go and proceed to save up for Chinook as well. So I believe I was going to try hard it, but I changed my mind. What I was going to do is, I think I was going to get Chinook first and try and Chinook all these druids onto that kind of support tower there. And then I realised, well, because I've already upgraded them to 002, when I go and upgrade them further now, so now it's 400 and 165 for the cost, right? 400, 165. So yeah, that's like £30, $30 that we save. So I was like, okay, that was not worth it. I should have just delayed getting Chinook, really. Because actually, if you want a quicker time, do not get Chinook this early. Just get them all to 013, because then you'll be, £10,000 ahead and be able to get Perma brew easier for tier 3. And that'll be a big time save. So it depends. Like, if you want to optimize money, then you'd want to Chinook them into the double discount range. If you want to optimize time and just beat my score, get the exact same score, but beat me on time, then instead just delay getting Chinook here and get them to all 013, which you'll see me do now. Okay, and then tier 2, we will fly through it. And as you can see, the lives as well, this is a big important thing. When you get Chinook, do not use the crate ability, or you can use the crate ability to get money, but do not pick up the hearts, okay? Actually, I should have done that. I should have just picked up the money from the crates and not the hearts. But I was too scared. On mobile, it's very, very easy to accidentally pick up the hearts and lives as well. So it's up to you. But yeah, that'd be a good thing to do, actually. Just collect the money and let the lives disappear. Because you do not want to make your total life count, obviously, go over 100, okay? Because then they'll start losing their damage. So don't do that. And then, like I said, all of them to 013. And all we're going to do from this is just proceed to fly through it. Use glue strike whenever, okay? You're not really going to have an issue with the insides at all now. And yeah, that's pretty much all I need to say for tier 2. All we're going to do is literally just save up for Perma brew for tier 3. So I'll show the kill in full, but it's nothing special at all. Sorry that it's a long video, but I just hope it helps, because basically if I show it in full, you guys have got no excuse not to get my score or at least beat it a little bit, okay? So no excuses. I want to see me get sniped like mad out of the leaderboard. Okay, so I will return commentating over another point. Now, because I want an easy life, not a hard life, and want to preserve my monkey money, I actually start setting up the stall sniper already, which is not optimal at all for time. The reason I did that was just so that I don't forget to do it later and miss out the double discount, okay? But you can definitely delay it if you've got it in your head that you want to get a stall sniper. But I just got it on double discount, so that will be a 402 sniper set on last that will help stall later on. But problem with that is, because I've bought Chin Up and the stall sniper, now I'm way off on getting Perma brew on time, so it's a big time loss, okay? And also I didn't collect any money from the helicopter, so I could have had a lot more money here and got Perma brew basically instantly, which is what I'd recommend you guys to do. But other than that, the kills should be pretty smooth. Once you get Perma brew, obviously make sure every tower has it, but don't let the stall sniper, if you go for a stall sniper, don't let that get it, okay? Because that can kind of not keep the stall as long as you want. But yeah, this kill should be very, very straightforward, and you shouldn't have any issues. Just get Perma brew as soon as you can and everything will be good. Also, don't forget about starting to build some populace as well. How many is going to be up to you, but I like to get the 5 stacks on basically the left side and right side is what I'd recommend if you can get 5 stacks, because having an avatar of Wrath with 5 stacks is very, very good. So that would be something that you need to consider, because I believe you could probably only get like 4 populace, not 4, sorry. 4 in each side, so 8 populace in total would probably be sufficient, but I believe I get 9 or 10. So that's something for you to kind of have a play around with, but if not, just copy how many I get. Okay, so now everything should be perma brewed and you should have some populace down. Now we're just going to literally save for Avatar of Wrath, okay? We want to kind of put him in a nice square for that. So I want him in the left-hand side rectangle on like the upper top left part of that, because then he will be great for the tier 5 boss at the start, okay? Because we'll be able to keep him there and not have to chinnock him for a long time, because he'll have very good range on the boss, okay? Because obviously there's the annoying line of sight blockers, so we want to try and do our best to think carefully about where to position him to hit the boss for as long as possible before having to chinnock. Okay, so you should easily be able to afford your Avatar of Wrath now. Like I said, I completely forgot about getting Chinook money crates, but where I've placed him here is not where I actually want him. I want him in the Druid 1 spot above him, okay? Because obviously for tier 5, we've got these annoying line of sight blockers, and I want him to be able to hit the boss for as long as possible whilst being in 5 range stacks. So the Druid spot 1 above it would be better for the Avatar of Wrath, in my opinion. But I will Chinook him and put him there later on. Also notice that I've left a space next to the ice. That's so that I can Chinook the Avatar of Wrath there at a later date, namely for tier 5, okay? So I'm just kind of think a bit ahead where I want Avatar of Wrath to be to get good DPS on the boss for tier 5. Notice on the right-hand side rectangle, in the top left of it, I've left a space, and in the middle right, I've left a space. That's just thinking about tier 5, where I want the Avatar of Wrath to go. And it's really annoying. There's nothing more annoying if you have really tight positions, okay? And then you're trying to put the Avatar of Wrath there and it doesn't work. So I made sure beforehand that they're not too tightly packed and that I can place it there quite easily. Because sometimes I've been, in rage and it's like, okay, I've got to go and sell some druids here to make space, but with a bit of wisdom of a few previous attempts, I know what to do. Now all I'm doing here is just rearranging that druid in the top left so I can place Avatar of Wrath there, because that's where I want it for tier 5, okay? But honestly, it probably wouldn't even matter that much anyway, right? We're only moving him up a tiny bit more than what he was before, so it's not something to concern yourself too much with. And obviously, you can find much better spots than what I did, so I'll leave that up to you. Also, I've got Etienne set on strong, by the way. Not strong, sorry, first, because the idea is that when we get the bads and stuff that come from the boss spawns on tier 5, that I want Etienne to help do the DPS on that, because we will start with many of the druids on strong as well, so it's just like pure focus on the boss itself rather than the AI, okay? So yeah, like I said, you've got a lot of kind of individuality that you can do with least cash, so you can always think, Vidan's put that position really quite bad, I'm going to optimize it, okay? So I'll leave that up to you, but it's just remember to think ahead a bit. Think, okay, where will be good positions for tier 5? And if you're completely lost, you know, you can just copy what I did, because it's tried and tested and it worked first time. So yeah, okay, but other than that, this should be a very nice tier kill. All we need to save up now for is Cripple. That's all we've got. We've got the stall sniper as well. I've put him on last now to help him stall the rounds so we can focus more on the boss and hopefully get a bit of a quicker kill. But to prevent getting a big penalty, you can just Chinook the stall sniper out of way mid-rounds, okay, so that you don't get a big penalty from the sniper during, you know, the rounds preceding the boss tier kills. So that's what I did, just to prevent getting a huge penalty, because it's very annoying. But yeah, for tier 5, where the stall sniper is now is pretty much where we're going to put him for tier 5, okay? So you shouldn't have to worry. But yeah, nice and easy kill, and then I will see you in tier 5. Okay, so as always, don't use any abilities on round 119, so they're fully up for 120. Use glue and UCAV immediately from Etienne. Etienne is placed in the kind of bottom middle left-hand side. This is just to help with the boss spawns at the end, okay? He's a big help for that, actually. So Etienne is the only tower set on first. Everything else is on strong, bar the stall sniper that's on last. Remember as well, sorry, I forgot to mention that in Brittleman, I got 401 as the cross path. Okay, so all it is a case of now is just keeping kind of a meticulous approach to making sure glue is always as active as possible, and also you just make sure that Avatar of Wrath is hitting the boss as many points as possible. Now, I'm not fully optimal here, but I just knew that I had enough DPS, so you know, there's no need to worry. But you can kind of copy exactly what I do and you'll be absolutely fine. Now, from past experience of a couple other runs, I've kind of got like DPS thresholds memorized, so I know exactly how much DPS I want to have done by a certain portion of the track to know that we are good and going to kill it fine. So basically, up this first straight here, we want it to be below 8 million by the time it turns the corner. So by the time you see the boss starting to turn the corner, if it's below 8 million, you are good, okay? And then after this, and by the time it turns around the right hand side corner, so the corner after this, sorry, I stumbled on my words a little bit then you want it to be below 7.8 million. As you can see as well, Avatar of Wrath is hitting for a long time, which is really nicely. And I'll take these kind of thresholds with a pinch of salt, but I will interject at each time you have kind of a memorized threshold in my head, just so that you guys can think with your run, okay, VDAN saying if I'm below X amount of damage here, then I may be in trouble, but if the boss health is below this certain amount, then I'm going to be good. So it's just a rough guideline, and I think that will help you to know if you're on a good pace or not. Okay, so like I said, we want it below 7.8 million by the time it turns this corner, so we're just below 7.8 million. And now by the time it reaches the discount village on the left hand side, so by the time it basically starts to turn for the middle section of the track where like DPS goes crazy, we want it below 7 million health by the time it makes that turn, okay? So just to remember that by the time it's at the discount village and turned, we want it below 7 million DPS, and then you're going to be absolutely great. So I did Chinook the Avatar of Wrath as well, so now it's on the right hand side, maximize the kind of range of the Avatar of Wrath. I didn't decide to place him at the top portion of the track when he was kind of temporarily immune to being hit by Avatar of Wrath. I didn't really think it was necessary. We made up the DPS anyway, but that's something you can figure out on your own. And then of course, the next thing I want to do is Chinook this Avatar of Wrath to the right hand side on the upper part of it so that he can prepare to hit it for that section. But yeah, I'll just interject at certain DPS milestones that I have. And yeah, other than that, you're going to be absolutely fine. Look how good the Stall Sniper is. You've basically not got to worry about anything other than just making sure Avatar of Wrath is on point. Quick thing I forgot to mention anyway is that because the first skull is popped, I'm going to change all of the druids on the left-hand side to first. This is so that they're going to target the insides of this bad appropriately, okay? But because we're not really dealing with AI anyway, we could probably just go and set everything on first from the get-go. Okay, so threshold here is that we want it to get to 5.5 million by the time it turns round and starts coming back down again, okay? So below 5.5 million. And then by the time it reaches the corner to go near the Chinook, okay, so when it gets past Cripple, gets to that discount village and wants to turn to go towards the kind of final straight of the map on the right hand side, you want it below 5 million. Okay, below 5 million there, and that's going to ensure that you pop the second skull before it's actually got halfway over the track, and then you just know basically that you've got the DPS, because remember as well, the boss doesn't even start at the very entrance. So yeah, as you can see, it's way below 5 million before it's made this corner, which is great. I've had other runs that have worked where it was 5 million just as it made the turn, like fully completed the turn, sorry. So we're like 200k DPS ahead of that. So I was like, okay, this is going to be absolutely easy, and we're going to pop it nice and early as well. So again, we can keep the avatar of Raphael for quite a long time, to be honest. Also, what you'll see towards the end, because now you've got to this point, you're pretty much confident you're going to be good. What we'll do towards the end is we can chinook some of the stuff on the right hand side over to the left hand side as well, just so it can hit a bit extra over there for the final skull. In terms of dealing with the bad, you shouldn't really have any issues. I mean, Etienne's going to be great at it, but you can just set everything to first, and that'll just also make life very easy as well. I don't like having cripple on. I don't know why I hate putting cripple on first for a bit, but if it means that you deal with the bads very easily and the insides very easily, then it's worth it, okay? But yeah, I've not really got anything else to say from that other than just make sure you deal with the insides of the bad carefully, and you'll see how I do that, but it shouldn't be that hard at all. I promise you'll be absolutely fine. And yeah, I think this is the most I've ever commentated, and it's very late here, so I apologise that it wasn't perfectly fluent, but hopefully, just with me being able to explain some things, it can be appreciated in that it helps you to follow along a bit, I guess. Hopefully it's been useful. Go get yourself an easy top 50. It's completely free right now. And yeah, thank you guys for all the support. It means a lot to me, and I'll hopefully see you guys very soon.